Hi, I'm Dino Kaikano with the Survival Summit, and today we're going to be talking about coffee. There's nothing better than having a good cup of coffee when you're out in a survival situation or just camping. And the four methods we're going to be discussing today are going to be the drip method, the tea bag method, French press, and for the adventurous ones, the Cowboy Coffee. Now, it all starts with good water. You can't have good coffee without having a good source of water. After you have your water, you want to make sure you boil it. And the best temperature for coffee is around 95 degrees, which is, most of us don't have thermometers out in the field. So what you want to look for is just some bubbles popping up in the water. Not a rolling boil, but just some bubbles starting to come off the bottom. So starting with the drip coffee, you're going to use a paper filter right here. The problem with the paper filters is that they will kind of carry with it a little cardboard flavor. So the first thing you want to do is just pour a little hot water onto that filter, just like that. And that's going to take away some of that cardboard flavor. Once that's done, scoop a couple tablespoons worth of coffee into there. Doesn't take a lot of coffee. I usually do about 3 tablespoons of coffee for the drip method. And you just dump the excess water. And that'll get you a nice strong cup of coffee. Once that's done, just pour it right over. So you're gonna be pouring the coffee over the grounds for about 2 minutes. That's usually about the best time. You wanna make sure that you have a nice froth over the top. That means that the coffee's doing its thing. All right, the next one we're gonna talk about is the tea bag method. For that, you just need the standard circular paper filter, a rubber band or a tie strip, whatever works. You just pour about 2 tablespoons. If you go more than that, it's gonna be hard to tie off. It's gonna make the bag a little bit too big. The hard part with this is that no matter how much you put in here, it's gonna be very tough for the grounds in the center of it to be saturated. So if you were to take the tea bag out and open it up, you're gonna see dry grounds on the very center. So that means that you're really not getting, this isn't the best bang for the buck, but it is a nice last resort method. So you just fold it up like that, give it a nice twist, and tie a rubber band to it, and then dump it in your hot water to steep. Again, about 95 degrees is what you want. Doesn't really produce the strongest coffee, so if you're a strong coffee drinker, this is not it. This is gonna produce a very weak coffee. So not my favorite, but it is a good option to have if you have nothing else. The third method today is the French press. French press is nice. A lot of people love the French press. It doesn't produce quite as strong a coffee as the pour over or the drip method, but it is a really nice, smooth coffee. You'll notice with the French press cup, it's very tall and slender. This is not the best for actually boiling water in unless you have some really deep coals that you can get, just the heat coming from all sides. If you put this on top of a heat source, if I put this on top of this 4-dog stove right here, it's gonna take a lot longer to boil than this wider cup will. There's a lot more surface area to capture that heat. This has very little of it. And this will hold about 3 cups. This is the Snow Peak titanium French press. And I like it, it's lightweight, easy to carry. It's bigger than what I would normally carry with me anywhere for a camping trip, but it works really well. You wanna go ahead and pour that in. After you pour the grounds in here, they're gonna just sit on the top, which means they're not getting soaked in the water, they're not steeping, they're not doing their job. So after you pour them in, you wanna make sure that you stir the grounds in. Put the top back on with the plunger all the way up, wait for 3 to 4 minutes. The longer you wait, the more bitter it's gonna be. So play around with the time, it's really up to your personal taste. After those 3 minutes are up, just slowly push down on this until you hit the bottom. You can keep the coffee in here with the water for about up to 20 minutes, but remember, the longer you leave it in, the more bitter it's gonna be. So after you're done pushing the plunger down, you wanna go ahead and pour your cup of coffee. So now you've seen the pour over method, the French press method, the tea bag method. The last one I'm gonna talk about is the Cowboy Coffee. Cowboy Coffee is cool because it requires nothing except for coffee and a cup and water. So you don't need any extra equipment, you don't need anything fancy. You take your grounds, you dump them in your cup, mix them around with some hot water, and then you drink it. Now, you're gonna get a lot of grounds in your mouth. So a trick to drinking this safely is to pour a little cold water over the top after you're done steeping the coffee, and it's gonna cause the coffee grounds to really settle at the bottom, and that will make it a lot more pleasant to drink. If you don't use that tip, you're gonna get a mouthful of black grounds. My favorite out of these is definitely the pour over method. This one right here is a Snow Peak folder. So the nice thing about this guy is it does in fact fold very flat. It's very lightweight, easy to carry with you. This with the cone filters makes it a very portable solution. Thank you for watching this video today. I'm Daniel Kuykendall from thesurvivalsummit.com. Please hit the subscribe button below if you'd like to see more videos like this. And please join the discussion. Let us know if you've tried these out. If you have a method of making coffee that you think is better, please let us know. Share your tips and tricks. This is all about the community sharing what they know. Take care, guys. Have fun.